Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to another collective reading. We're going to be talking about Mercury and Libra today. Mercury and Libra is going to be going on from now until about November 3rd. So this is a very, very critical transit, as a matter of fact. Let me make sure I pin this up so everybody can see. Welcome in, everybody. Hope y'all have been enjoying the Daily Mav. Shouts out to Melly Hirsch for giving me the name idea for that. But shouts out to the Daily Mav, the Star Navigator. Shouts out to all of you. Everybody that's here right now is a Star Navigator themselves. We just all trying to figure it out. You feel me? So much. Ooh, they already trying to mess with me. They know I'm about to go off. They know I'm about to go off because I started off mad calm. They're like, pause due to the poor connection. Like, okay. Bet. Okay, so let's get into this though, right? So Mercury just went into Libra the other day, probably yesterday or the day before. And when Mercury goes into Libra, one thing that really sticks out to me is that everything goes from this kind of like this self-orientation. So especially because Mercury was just in Virgo, right? So Mercury in Virgo was trying to get people in the right space on what do you actually want to communicate. Whereas Mercury in Libra is like, okay, now that you know what you want, now that you've mastered your sauce on the words that you want to say, how are you going to now communicate with other people, work half and half, and create cooler, better, and doper structures in the process? What's up to okay? What's up to everybody that's in here? Shouts out to y'all. I really be going live mad random. And y'all just be pulling up and it's like, hey, what's up? Very Sagittarius of me, very triple fire sign of me. I do want to start going live again like twice a week though, on top of everything. And I'm going to be adding classes. And trust me, post this new moon in Virgo, please stay tuned. Because for the new moon in Virgo, I'm going to be making a bunch of announcements. I'm also going to be having a free class on that day. I'll probably just do it on Instagram Live. But for any of you who are interested, afterward, they're all going to be on Zoom, full moon classes. And what I'm going to end up doing, every new moon and full moon, for every person that shows up, I'm going to do a reading for you. Like that's my new thing. So for anyone that shows up to a new moon and full moon class, I'm going to be breaking down the astrology, breaking down the new moon, breaking down the signs, how it affects everybody. But then I'm going to actually be pulling a card and giving a reading for everyone that comes to the class. So please be sure to pull up because like, I think that's a pretty dope deal. When is the new moon? The new moon is on September 6th, right? So the new moon is on September 6th. Please be, I'm telling you, please get on the wave right now. I've been slowly trying to prep y'all, but please get on the wave right now. I have so much coming up. I'm excited. But let's get into the first card, right? Oh no, shout out to me. This is my Mars return. Hey. But okay, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. What's the first card that we got? Let's hope. So we have the 9 of Cups. I normally don't use reversals because my thing is upside down. But let's just use this reversal in this process, right? Shout out to Crazy Bull for really putting me onto reversals to begin with. She really explained reversals to me. Crazy Bull Spirituality. Please be sure to check her out. She's been definitely doing her thing recently. Hey there, my readings are amazing. Thank you so much. She said my readings are amazing. So, I mean, I do have readings available and such like that. But there's gonna be more coming, trust me. We're gonna do live consultations now. I'm gonna be chatting it with y'all direct. So what sign am I doing? This is for the collective right now. So this Mercury and Libra, everything that I'm pulling right now is for the entire collective on an energetic basis. If it applies to you, apply it. If it doesn't, just listen to it, see if it applies later. You never know, right? But when it comes to this 9 of Cups, right, this shows that there's a certain sense of satisfaction that's about to come in, but you can't yet see it. And the reason why you can't see it yet is because Virgo season still wants you to work. So Virgo season is like, oh, you had this dream and aspiration. Have you been working on it still? Have you been doing this every time? You know what I'm saying? I am going to save this, don't worry. But if you hear, that's dope. But when it comes to this, right, it's like, oh, it's basically, you're going to be gifted these things, but Virgo season wants you to like still work for it like you don't have anything. Like, you get what I'm saying? They're like, oh yeah, like here's all your dreams come true, but we're not going to show you this yet because we still want you to work hard like you never had it. So, you know, like when an artist makes their first album and you never forget it, or it's like their first real album and you're like, wow, this is the realest work. This is where they really like dug in and stuff like that, right? And then later on they kind of get like, you know, this like the 3rd or 4th album and you're listening to it and it's like, I mean, I get it, but like you don't have that same hunger, you don't have that same like fire before. That's kind of similar. So it's like the reason why it's not showing you is because it wants you to still have that same energy and that same fire as like that first thing that made you like fall in love with that artist for the first time, right? Love. Ooh. So Mercury in is that white Jesus? Anyway. But I'm sorry, but this is the love one, right? And so with this being said, right, this is about of like, you need to have a certain sense of love during Mercury and Libra. As a matter of fact, when I was first talking about Mercury and Libra to myself, it reminded me of the Lovers card in the tarot. And the reason why that was is because it's like the Lovers card is basically being, the way I like to see it is the angel at the top of the Lovers card is literally like negotiating both ends for the lovers so they can come together in that sacred union, right? And so there's a lot of things coming to you. There's some love that's going to be coming to you too, which I don't think a lot of people are expecting, especially post all of this crazy shutdown. It feels like there's been like a certain lack of love. Like everyone's been hyped to get back out, but it's been like a certain lack of like understanding and connection with each other. That's part of why I took a step back, because I was like, people bugging. People bugging. I'ma chill, come back when it's time. But this is how that's kind of going on when it comes to this like Mercury and Libra, right? Yes, white Jesus. I was surprised myself. I did not know I had a deck that had that in there. Let's see. So, see what we got. Eight of Wands. Yo, I got the Eight of Wands, I think, the last time I did a card too. This is also another reversal. You can't see this yet. So when it comes to this Eight of Wands, there's so much change. Justice was on the bottom of this. So what I'm really sensing with this too is that it's like there's a certain sense of there's a balancing act. Justice card is the Libra card, right? And Mercury is in Libra, which is what this is all about. So with that being said, it's like Mercury and Libra making this like transition. You need to learn how to love again. You need to learn how to adapt quickly, and you need to like learn how to essentially weigh out the scales of your options in order for you to be in the just case. Mercury and Libra is a transit where you need to stick up for yourself like you were in Aries season. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to stick up for yourself and for what you want, and like the teeter-totter, like you were actually on fire in comparison to just trying to be like that. A lot of people think Libra is this, oh, let's just keep the peace. Most Libras I know always want to smoke. Just personally, most Aries I know be trying to chill. Most Libras I know want to smoke. I feel like there's a lot. I'm going to be breaking that down in my classes that are going to be coming up in October. But anyway, but that's what's going on with that, right? So frustrating, especially if you sense it. Yeah, sometimes it can get frustrating, but it's like the idea is you need to stick up for you. Now, the unbalance that comes in with Mercury and Libra is when you try to be too compromising to situations, right? Because at the end of the day, it screws you. So when you're like, oh, let me, oh, well, they can't do this, so let me just like compromise this here. Oh, like, oh, they don't know how they feel about this, so let me just like change this part, or like let me not speak up. You know what I'm saying? You heard that room? You gotta hit them with the room. I like how there's rooms that come there. I'm also on the hood, so it'd be like that. But it's just like but I like how there's just rooms going by when I be saying certain stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Libra. You don't want the smoke, but if you start BS, you're willing to give all the smoke. Now, here's the thing with Libra. Everyone tries them. So then it's just immediate smoke. It doesn't go to like, there's not like that. It's just smoke, right? And one of the reasons why that is because it's not, peace isn't about you backing up and being like, okay, like, it's not about you like turning the other cheek as much as it is you being able to tell somebody to not have you turn that cheek to begin with. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not about that. Yeah, Sag, you try us a lot. I'm a double Sag. You feel? I peep. But with the whole idea behind it is that it's like you need to make sure that you still stand up for yourself. Let's get another card real quick. Do I have another deck over here? I might. If I have another deck, I might pull from another one too. I do like the Mystic Mondays though. Shouts out to Mystic Mondays. But the Three of Swords. All these are like, I think my deck is just upside down, but I'm still going to roll with this because I feel like with this Mercury and Libra in this Virgo season specifically, Virgo season isn't, oh, I just figured it out. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? I was like, I just figured it out. It said low battery, everything just blanked out, but I just figured it out though. When it comes to like all of these like reversals, all of the outer planets are in retrograde during this Virgo season. I meant to talk about this a while ago, but now it's finally clicking. Like every outer planet, even the middle planets like Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are all in retrograde during Virgo season. And one thing about Virgo that you may not know is that Virgo, in my personal opinion, is the sign's energy that literally holds all of, like, outer planet energy couldn't exist in real life without the Virgo axis to Pisces. So it's like, as much Virgos are meticulous into the details, they were technically like, they technically are the ones that are bridging in all of these outside like energies that Pisces just emanates, right? So where Pisces is just like, and Virgo's like about but I mean, the whole idea behind this is that it's like, this is time to almost rewrite the script. And so what I got with this, with the this upside down, this is heartbreak. And what I'm sensing with this heartbreak though is that it's like, it's almost like you're remembering heartbreaks from prior. Because what I'm sensing with this Mercury and Libra is that it's like, by addressing the heartbreaks and setbacks that you had with people from an earlier time frame, this is now your time to really like change and remember how to love again. Remember how I pulled that love card, like just true, genuine like expression. And I'm not talking about just romantic love. I'm talking about like that sun sign love, that like that solar plexus, that like warmth in the love. You know what I'm saying? You can, here's what I want to differentiate. You can love somebody and not like them. Like, you can love somebody and who you are and not like anything about them as a person. You know, there's people out there where it's like, man, I love this person, but I can't talk to their ass because they crazy. Or like, man, I love this person, but I can't deal with them because they started tripping about something that right? You can love something without liking it. But what we're trying to get to when it comes to this Mercury and Libra is putting that like and love together so it's just all encompassing. Now that's when we getting into this shit. And this is why y'all need to pull up. You ain't gonna get this shit off some like other TikTok from somebody being like, Mercury and Libra is about balancing conversation. Like, shut up. like get into it. You can't, if you can read it online, if you look it up on Google, like, think about it like that. That's like, a lot of people have been coming up. It's been a lot of fake stuff coming up, but the real differential is that it's like, if you can look it up on Google and hear the exact same thing, you know what I'm saying? Did I miss the forecast of the week? No. So I'm not doing the forecast of the week like I was before in the same format. Just to let you all know, I don't know if I mentioned it last time. I'm not doing the same weekly forecast. I'm covering every day specifically, right? So instead of the weekly forecast where I'm just rambling, you froze just as soon as I pulled up in front of a certain building. They trying to block the kid. It is what it is, but we going in. That's how we do it. But when it comes to the forecast, I'm, instead of that, daily post about what's going on for that day, and I'm going to be covering larger frame, like actual things that are happening in like live streams and in videos and etc. Because I want to be able to like give y'all the information on a day-to-day, but I also want to be able to give you this free-flowing form of what this energy is and also showing it to you in real time. You get what I'm saying? So you didn't miss anything. This is just like a new type of format because it's a new time, you know, Virgo season. I gotta even make these changes within the way I do things to make sure that it works out for not just me, but Virgo is also a sign of service. So I am in the service industry. At the end of the day, I'm here to serve y'all as far as this information and as far as these like transits and such like that, the energies at hand, and help guide y'all to learn yourselves on a deeper and more integral level based off of who you are from the moment you were born, because you always were who you are. I'm just here to remind you those little bits in between of like, yo, you already doing it. But when you get the clarity, you get the clarity. And that's what Virgo season is about. Unmasking that, getting into the clarity, knowing who you are, getting that nitty gritty, getting into the details. That's what that part's about. So I know this is called Mercury and Libra, and whenever I do these, they'll be mostly about that topic, but I always will drop gems on anything else that's going on because, like, you know. So I'm going to also be covering Mercury and Libra when it's retrograde time. So there's going to be a different video around retrograde. I might actually record that one at that point, but I just want to at least come through, give a collective reading to start this off. Mine, this is going into November 5th though. So I got the Princess of Cups too, right? Now, what I really think about this is that there's like a certain sense of emotion. I'm not even going front. It originally came like this, right? But what I'm sensing with this Princess of Cups is that it's like, in order for you to make that self-sacrifice, the self-sacrifice isn't to like appease anybody else. It's almost like a self-sacrifice of your ego to yourself. Like, how are you going to get rid of that in order for you to just get into that emotional world, in order for you to get into that real realm of just how you feel about things? Because how you feel about things is how you ultimately relate to other people. Mercury and Libra is about relation to other people. How you gonna know how to relate to somebody if you don't even know how you feel, if you don't even know what you think? That's why when I always talk about these things, I'm like, tap into you and who you are. I'm also like a fire sign, so that's what I do as far as that. Like, make sure that you're doing what you do for you, and then the rest will come, and everyone else will like give you that respect and love for it. You know what I'm saying? I just pulled the love again with White Jesus. Crazy, wild. Nah, but I pulled the love card again. See, and that's another thing where I'm like, this is why I don't do long tarot readings. I know some people do really long tarot readings, but for me, if I have a message, and y'all have seen me pull tarot for like, for anyone of y'all who've been watching me for the past like 2 years, and you see me pull tarot, like, I will literally just start pulling the same exact thing over and over again, or I'll just pull like anything that I just said beforehand. Why? Because it's also in accordance to the stars, right? The stars don't lie. It's just, how are you going to interpret that? How are you going to take that moment and realize what it is? That's the differential between it. You feel me? But yeah. So basically, just what else about this Mercury and Libra, right? So let's see what else I can think of real quick. But yeah, once more, I'm covering every day. The Daily Mav. Be sure that you sign up for the Daily Mav. And what I mean by that is just be sure that you check out the Instagram. If you see it, share it, like it, comment. I might start asking more questions and stuff. I want to do that as a way to like engage with y'all too. So if you have anything, just like feel free to drop it down. Like, it's a community that's being built, because I feel like what we have been lacking, not even as, I don't consider myself spiritual community. I think that shit's bullshit. I think that's the dumbest thing in the world. Like, oh, spirit, like, no. It's like, who's doing it and who's not. Like, every time we start to try and make something, someone comes in and then screws it up. And then once they screw it up, that's the thing they start to blast on the news about it, right? Because before the spiritual community, there was like 10 astrologers on YouTube, for real, maybe. And the ones that like came up around the time I did, we all came up watching them. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. It was only like 10. Now it's exploded into something else, which on one end, amazing. But on the other end, infiltration. Now somebody can read something, give you a singular card and be like, well, that's what it is. And look up the definition on Google and then tell you that's what that is. And it's not a problem if you're learning and starting off. But when you're talking to people that don't know the spiritual work, like you're an expert and you just started really recently, that causes a confusion. Because now there's somebody who's like, oh, wow, this is going to happen in my day. And then they're like disappointed, or X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 blah. Like, you need to, like, in my personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion when it comes to things, right? But for example, like, I didn't start, and this is also a Mars return right now, so now I'm gonna talk my shit. But I personally didn't start doing readings for other people until I was about 2-3 years in, and just studying stuff. And just working on my own thing. And for me, I have a lot of earth energy. So for me, I'm like, I don't want to come to y'all being like, hey, I just started this thing out. Like, here I am now. Like, everyone do this, blah, 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 blah. Like, nah. I want to be able to come to y'all and be like, boom, boom, boom. I think as of right now, I've been doing this officially for like 3 years. So ever since I graduated, like, college, I've been doing this like officially for 3 years. So it's like, this is the differential when it comes to that. And I'm not saying this is just me. There is a lot of other dope spiritualists who have been really doing it, and a lot of them are colleagues of mine, which I'm really, really happy of. But it's one of those things where it's like, one sec, I was thinking about it today, the way that they're commercializing it now, a bunch of watered down mess. And that's why, like, I saw Facebook talk about something. Yo, let me talk about this Facebook ad. I know Instagram's owned by y'all, but I'm gonna talk about this real quick. Oh, shoot. I didn't even know I could do this. Hey, that's kind of cool. All right, but when it comes to what's it called, the Facebook ad, Homie was like, yeah, man, my girl left me and now she's with a Pisces. So I just decided to learn astrology myself. And then he's like, yeah, how do I do this? How do I fix my 12th house? And I was like, what? Then and it's like, they know and they understand this is real. So they're gonna keep spewing bullshit to y'all because y'all gonna eat it. You get what I'm saying? Like they're gonna keep spewing that, not to you specifically, because y'all are here and y'all banging with the real. So I understand that y'all know what's real and what's not. But when it comes to like the way they're about to commercialize this, and I called this on a Peace Talk a grip ago, but I was like, yo, they're gonna start doing that. And I've worked in corporate and I've done spirituality stuff, and I've been able to like understand like the inner layers and mechanisms, and sometimes business has to do business. But the way that these people are coming up now, I had to talk with one of my good friends who's an astrologer. They put me on the game, and they're like, hey, I taught this person how to like do this one card pull thing. And then this person went on TikTok and started telling thousands and thousands of people based off of their privilege that they had. And then like, you get what I'm saying? And it's like, once more, it's a tiny bit of cringe. It's my Mars return in Virgo. I'm a point this stuff out because it's like, and now granted, the reason why I'm even pointing this out is because it's like, there's a lot of BS out there, and even outside of me, because I know I'm always keep it a stack with y'all, but even outside of me or you watching me, the answers aren't you. When I do a reading for people, I'm trying to show you that you the answer to that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, you are the answer to that. You just need to know how those things formulate. That's where I come in. But outside of that, you are always the vessel, and you are always the person that's doing the work. I could tell you anything in these live streams, but if you don't put the work in, ain't shit gonna happen. I mean, it's still gonna happen, but it's not gonna happen the way you want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to put in that work and that process. I'm only here to tell y'all, oh shit, that's what's happening. That's crazy. Oh damn, word, man. Mercury did that. Damn, that's crazy. That's my job. If you don't do the work, it's not nothing. When I took that month off, it wasn't because I was just like BSing. I was at a shitty job. But two, I was also like, I was putting in work, personal work. Because I don't, as a reader and as someone that does this, I can't come here and be like, oh, blah, 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 if I'm not 100%. And this isn't something that I force or expect everyone else to do. But I am here to point out that fake shit. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're also trying to sexualize females by saying, get with a bruja. Yo, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because in my findings of stuff, I realized that as a male, a Martian male, on top of that, this is the idea of like, I'm here to help the divine feminine by shaking up the divine, by shaking up the less divine of the masculine into shape. And that's something that I know will be happening over time. But I know I work very directly with, like, you know, that form of energy. And shouts out to all the divine feminine people within my life and around me that are helping me integrate that on a whole different level. And what's the difference between that? Guys out there, men that may be watching, shut the fuck up and listen. For 5 minutes, just shut up. Just shut up and listen. Shut up and listen. For like 2 seconds, just listen. See what's going on. It ain't about you. You know what I'm saying? It's not about you. Man, it is not about you. Straight up. Shut up. Shut up. Whatever you, just shut up. And it's like, for those that don't get affected by what I just said, y'all with me on this. Because it's not about the people that are trying to do the work. It's not about that. It's not about that. But you just need to, like, listen. You get what I mean? Because there's so much wisdom in that. And you're not supposed to understand everything. You're not supposed to. And you can't logic your way out of a feeling. Ever. So shut up. Just listen. Feel it through. If you with somebody who has that real energy around you, that divine feminine energy with you, they're going to want to have you anchor that and really harness it for yourself to become a better person. Now, for the divine feminine females, don't be going out there. Not females. I'm so sorry. I've been watching too much other shit. For the divine feminine, whoever ends up resonating with that, period, right? For the divine feminine, you can't let these asshole dudes who have a chance come in and just keep doing the same thing. You get what I'm saying? And a part of this, at least on my end, right? On my end, I'm here to like help garner and water that so that can just do its own thing. And I think that's the role that it's supposed to play. I've been doing a lot of studying on Chiron versus Lilith. I will be doing classes on that in the future because it's a really deep concept that I've been working with. But the idea behind this is that it's like we need to heal. You know what I'm saying? And like, I know I'm not perfect as a dude. I'm not. But the whole idea behind it is that it's like, if you don't have that willingness to learn, if you don't have the willingness to like open your mind, have those real conversations, and be willing to be wrong, you're screwed. Like you can't let that go. And that's a big part of this Mercury and Libra too. And I was like, why am I going off about this? It's Mercury and Libra. I'm like, why am I talking about relationships with, I'm like, oh, Mercury and Libra. Like, literally, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's how that ends up going. And so, shouts out to the hearts and shouts out to the love. I see you. I've just been going off. The true sign of a spiritual leader is showing the medicine so you can learn to use it for yourself. Yeah, like, I don't believe in the, like, concept of, like, trying to hoard everything as far as like info per se. You get what I'm saying? Now, mind you, certain people need to stay out of certain practices if they're really not about that, or they can't respect it in its totality. That I agree with. But overall, everyone has their own different like rendition of how things go, you know? And what Mercury and Libra is about, and as I'm even talking about this, right? This is a part of my perspective, right? This is a part of my perspective, and I feel this way. Now, if somebody else felt a different way and they wanted to talk to me about it, level with me about it, and we could speak about it, dope. And guess what? We leave that spot with a better understanding, not only of each other, but how other people think at large. And the thing with Mercury and Libra is it's a very intellectual sign. It is all about the intellect. It's all about the cerebralness of it all and the air sign capacity. I know I've been going on. I did not expect to be on for this long. But that's how you know, like, I'm in it. Hey, what's good? But like, so the whole idea behind, like, let's say this Mercury and Libra transit once more, how are you going to be you in the fullest? Learn how to be and learn how to communicate in relationships too. You get what I'm saying? And this goes for like, if you're like, if there's something where you're like, I don't really know about this thing, be willing to have that conversation. Because if the person can't level with you, then what you doing? If the person can't level with you, or be with you at an intellectual, or not even intellectual, a respect level. I'm gonna say that one more time. A respect level. People can't level with you on a respect level. Why are you going to keep compromising for them? I'm gonna let y'all sit with that for a sec. I'm just being dramatic, but I'm gonna let y'all sit. But I mean, the whole idea, right? Yeah. So talk that talk. That's all I know how to do at this point. I'm not that's all it is, because there's so much, like, I guarantee if you went on TikTok, I don't even go on TikTok like that, because I know it's just at a certain point I'm gonna just get too much into it. But if you go to, like, let's say TikTok right now, guarantee 300, 3,000, 5,000 people talking about Mercury and Libra. Yeah, Mercury and Libra, wow. Relationships, talk about it. Oh my God. Like, yes, but also, like, it's shallow. I don't like shallow shit. I have too many things in me that's like, I can't do that shallow. And I'm going to continue to, like, help garner the community around me. Not even the spiritual community. Like, fuck that. The people that are around me that I know are real, because y'all be showing up. And I peep that, and I really at some point want to make a better way to make sure that we're all like in that together type deal, and like really can just grow with one another. And I'm working on that. That's a longer process of things, but like that's what that's about, you know? Because how we gonna build? Like, how can we make it easier as a community, as a collective? So that Pluto and Capricorn generation coming out, and all this trauma and bullshit that the world's going through right now, all the little kids being born right now, coming up, having to deal with all that crazy shit with school right now. How are we going to do that so it could be in better emotional and spiritual experience for them? And then the people after that. And then the people after that. Because it's not about us. We already here. You get what I'm saying? Like, we already here. It's not about us per se. It's about what can we continuously make? What can we continuously help garner? and grow with these people. And not just people that are just young. There are some old motherfuckers that's still 12 years old. There's some grown ass people that ain't never passed middle school. Straight up. I'ma say it. When I was gonna say it, I'ma say it. I've talked to enough old people to be like, damn, y'all ain't never grew up? Like, damn, y'all ain't been through nothing, huh? Oh, you ain't never had that experience. Damn. I was like 10 years old talking to grown people, and I'm like, I've had more experiences than you, and you big what? You know what I'm saying? And that's not to be like that. And that is also a symbol for a lot of people that I feel like are inherently spiritual or grew up. If you grew up and you're like, you're too sensitive as a kid, you're intuitive. You're intuitive. Straight up. You would feel what that adult was doing on some weird shit, and you'd be like, what's going on? They're like, shh, you don't know anything. We'll tell you when you're older. Like, all of those type of things that were happening. Because I'm speaking on this from a Pluto and Virgo generation standpoint. I'm Pluto and Sag, right? This is also going to apply for some Pluto and Scorpio a little bit too, because I'm right in between both. But that's how that ends up. Like, that's how it was working for a really long time. Now we live in this age of information. If you're stupid, you choose to be stupid. If you're dumb, you choose to be dumb. We are in the information age, and although there's a lot of bullshit information out there, there's a real, if you look up a Google search and you go down 4 articles, there's going to be something more true in that. If you look at the first one, bullshit. Second one, bullshit. Third one, definitely bullshit. You have to dig in though. And you have to not just trust what you see, you have to trust what you feel. Because that's the combination people are missing. Everyone's trying to be super logical. Especially men. Men are trying to be super logical, super conscious, this, that, and the third. I've seen some of the most conscious motherfuckers turn into shitheads. Shitheads. Real fast. Because they're so conscious. I'm so smart. I'm so intelligent. I can blah, 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 blah. And they don't even know how to treat, like, a woman with them. Like a person. Like, how are you so conscious and all this other shit? You can't say what's up and, like, actually emotionally relate. On the flip end, a lot of y'all, not y'all, a lot of people though, are mad emotional. Oh no. Oh, I just feel all these things. And you can't even think for yourself. You can't even think for yourself because you're just going off the feeling of what everyone else is trying to tell you how to feel. Because you ain't never respect how you felt. And that's why I do astrology. Because I'm coming through on some shit where it's like, yo, this is you. Where you at? Don't, like, I realize my energy. I don't got a lot of water signs. So it's weirder for me to, like, emotionally relate to somebody on some, like, mopey type shit. Nah. But if I'm talking to someone and it's like, hey, here's the fire, here's the passion, what do you like? What are you into, right? That generates more heat for, let's say, me, which also generates a better thing for other people. I love talking to people about what they're passionate about. You get what I'm saying? I don't talk much. I'm an introvert. Aside from, like, the very few people that I bang with on a regular basis, like, I don't talk like that in real time. But when it's time to deliver info, when it's time to talk to the people, and when it's time for all of us to jug together, I don't shut up. And I appreciate y'all appreciating that. This is what it's like. You know what I'm saying? And so the idea about the balancing act, which I think is once more Mercury and Libra. I don't ramble for no reason. Shouts out to I don't ramble for no reason. Don't ramble for no reason. But when it comes to this, right? Now with this Mercury and Libra, what's that balance that gotta be? That mind and that heart. That's simple. The mind and the heart. How are we going to balance the mind and the heart in our conversations? Speak with other people that have a balanced mind and a balanced heart. And how are we going to communicate with one another in that process? You know what I'm saying? Miss me with all that emotion. Yo, miss me with all that emotion. What you about to do to fix this shit is literally Mercury and Libra, yo. It's like, oh, that's how you feel? How are we going to work together to figure this out? Are you going to fix it or no? And if they're not willing to fix it, you need to just leave it alone. And that's the boundary that you're going to start building with this Mercury and Libra, right? It's not about this nice shit. It's not this love and light bullshit. That's bullshit. That love and light bullshit is an agenda on some crazy shit. And for the people that mean it and they say it when they mean it, I know the difference. When people are like, ah, ha, 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 you're a horrible person. Love and light. Anyway, so it's just that was my Virgo face, by the way. But I be clowning now. See, once it gets past 30 minutes, I'm like, all right, we're just unmarked territory at this point. But I appreciate y'all coming through. We appreciating you appreciating us. Yo, it is Tuesday afternoon. I just randomly came live, and there's about like 30 of y'all in here. What? I gotta be great. What? No warning, no nothing. I was just like, shit, it's Tuesday. I'm finna go live. And people showed up. Love and light is the new bless your heart. Yo. Bless your heart. Like, you don't like. Yo, this is another thing too. And this is a little more ramble. This still has to do with Mercury and Libra though. I'm so tired of when Mercury and Libra, look out for people that are going to talk in this fake political language to you in real time, right? Be careful of that. Be careful of that. Be careful of that. And that's my one major, like, yo, look out for this during Mercury and Libra. I know I didn't pick up the card. Shouts out to Melly Hirsch for joining in. Shouts out to Melly Hirsch. Give Melly Hirsch some love. They gave me the idea. When I said the daily, I was like, oh, I'm going on here daily to do this live stream, this, that, and the third. They were like, oh, it's the Daily Mav. And I was like, oh, shit, that's fire. And I've been rolling with this. So shouts out Melly Hirsch. Like, I really, like, shouts out. You get what I'm saying? That's beautiful. It was perfect timing when you popped on. But, yo, this is what I'm saying, though. It's like, I come on here mad random, live. I've been talking for 30-plus minutes. Y'all are still here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? What? I have to be grateful for that. You get what I'm saying? There's just no plan behind this. When I start actually playing that stuff for real, please show up, because it's going to be even crazier than this. But it's like, this is the motion. This is like the way that it's about to go. I personally, right? Personally, and this is a real thing, right? I have a lot of background in like media and production and like music and audio and like all this other type of stuff. That was what I was doing in next to astro stuff for a very long time, right? So with that being said, for me, sometimes my like, oh man, like this isn't in the best quality, like I don't know if I could put it out, or like, oh man, like I don't know how I should record this video and this, that, and the third, and I would psych myself out so much I just wouldn't do it. You get what I'm saying? I even have to break the barrier of TikTok. I could talk to y'all for 38 minutes straight on here, but recording a 15-second video, my brain is. But that's something that, even for me, that's a challenge for me to do. You get what I'm saying? And I know some people aren't like that in that regard, but I do suggest for everyone to like give themselves a little challenge to themselves over time. And I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but it's something where it's like, okay, like how are you going to continuously try something different for you to break through? So we can just continuously keep moving. Because every time you keep moving personally, you're actually doing the work for the collective. You ever think about that? Every time you choose to like be like, you know what? Instead of going to that party where I'm going to just get lit, black out, and do something stupid, I'm going to sit in at the crib, watch this documentary, light a nice candle, and like really tap into yourself. You're doing such a service to people. You know what I'm saying? All that other bullshit like, oh, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. Like, they ain't about shit. They're not. Ask them something real. All those people that you think are super popular, doing all this crazy stuff, like, wow, look how great their lives are. Ask them a real question and see what they say. Just ask them something real. Ask them something real and see what they say. And I guarantee you either going to be left on scene or they're going to say some stupid shit to you. And you're going to be like, man, I really don't want to hang out with this person. And this is another breakthrough in this Mercury and Libra. You're going to start seeing what's the facade and who's real. I've been seeing, I pay enough attention to the astrology world until everything else is going on around type deal. Hence why I was like, step back, pop back up. You get what I'm saying? Because now in between those pitfalls, it's like, you want to know what's missing? The real. I'm sitting here watching people talk bullshit all day. And I'm like, man, I kind of wish somebody was supposed to be like, I wish somebody came through on some realness, this, that, and the third. And it's like, you know what? I'll do that. Most of them buying followers. I have, okay. You want to know something crazy? I got y'all right now. I'm about to, let's go. I went to school for marketing. I have a marketing degree. So I actually do know the inner mechanisms of business. I work in corporate. I've done stuff like this. I have that work done. I don't talk about the credentials because I'm an astrologer and nobody really cares. They just want the astro. But I know how numbers work with this regard. Why is it that there's these people that have 1 million followers? 1 million followers. Let's just use 1 million followers. They have 1 million followers. Why do they only have 1,000 views on their shit? If you have them, like, just statistically based, if you have 1 million followers and you only have like 1,000 this, or you have X amount of followers and you only have like a little bit of that, like, the reason why I love this collective so much is because it's not about the views. It's about the people for me. So the fact that y'all keep coming here and I see y'all like this shit and comment and interact and DM me and be like, yo, thank you for this and blah, 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 blah. The likes never match the followers. It's not about that follower shit. It's not about that. It's about who you connecting with. I'm gonna use this as an example. For y'all who didn't know, I actually got featured on Instagram at the earlier part of this year, which was super dope, right? So I got featured by Instagram creators. They reached out to me. Shout out to Imans as well for throwing my name in a hat for that. But when it comes to this, right, everyone else in that stream with me had tens to hundreds of thousand followers more than I did. I came through, they were like 100,000K. Dope. Oh, they're doing their thing. 200,000K. And they were. And I'm not taking anything away from the work that they put in. But then it's like that like 20,000. And then it's me. And I'm like, I got 4,000, 5,000. You know? But the thing about it is the fact that they even looked out and was like, nah, like, he's actually coming up with real. They could have easily grabbed somebody else with more following. Easily. And like, this is what I'm saying, where it's like the people want the real, and that's why I really, once more, I really appreciate y'all. Because, like, and the reason why I appreciate y'all differently maybe than some other spiritualists is because I grew up in this fucking room. I was in this same room studying this shit when nobody was banging with me. Just studying, just learning, just really trying to understand what was going on. I'm a 9th house Sag. Like, I'm trying to figure out the universe, what's the language of God as a whole, like all this other stuff, because like I'm just trying to figure that out. So I was in the same room doing this shit. The same room. And so when it comes to me, I'm like, yo, it went from me being alone in this room to having like 30 of y'all right now, at least in this live stream. Mad random on a Tuesday. Middle of the day. That's why my appreciation goes so far. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I know, you know, like, it's just, love y'all. For real shit. Love y'all. Let's see what else we got for some cards. My fault. I went on a random tangent, but that's also why you click on these lives to begin with, because you're like, is he going on a random tangent today? Is he? Is he? Is he really? Confidence is your key to success. Lovely. I'm not pulling anything else. That's it. That's it for this part, right? And why confidence is the key to success? Confidence is your key to success because, well, obviously, but it's the number one. My fault, y'all. My battery is just like, yo, bro, you've been talking for a grip, man. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But when it comes to this like Leo energy though, right? It's about having the confidence to just show up and do it. I actually wrote earlier for just today where I'm like, today's the day where you shoot your shot, and maybe it might not land exactly where you might want to immediately, but once you do, it's going to be like exactly where you want it to be. And so you just got to give it that shot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this much love to y'all, yo. I can't like. And this is my Mars return, so I'm like kind of like low-key emotional, and that's why I've been letting this roll on further, because I'm like, there's no other time I'm gonna do this. In my first house year, Mars return, in the same room I started learning astrology, and like, shit, that's crazy, you know? And it's so, I said that was my last card, but then I just had this. What's this? The Sun. You gotta be you. And Virgo season is gonna show you exactly how you're supposed to be you. And Mercury and Libra is gonna tell you how you need to relate to other people's sun, other people's light, other people's radiance. How y'all gonna take both of y'all radiances and make it shine, you know? Shit. I didn't even like expect to like go as live or go as hard today. You know what I'm saying? A Leo card and the sun. Fact. See, y'all be paying attention too. I'll be rambling. I'll be feeling like I'm rambling. But I'm hyped that this ended up landing through. This is going to be up as well. I'm going to be putting this up on IGTV. So y'all can watch this at your leisure or skip through it and just listen to it or just look at me be pretty, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But that's pretty much the way that like this is set up. So once more, I'm still going to be going through on a daily with the daily math. It's like the newspaper you ain't know that you wanted, but you probably wanted it. So please be sure, you know, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Whatever that means. I don't know. Just pull up. Just pull up, y'all. New moon and full moon classes are going to be super dope coming up. Once more, for y'all who didn't hear, when I do my new moon and full moon classes, this next one on the 6th is going to be free. Or it might not be on the 6th, it might be on the 5th. But regardless, the next one that I do, that's going to be free. That's just for everybody. That's out of the love for y'all. The next ones after that, we're going back into the class format. We're going to be doing it on Zoom. But the difference between the last time where I was just pulling for the science, I'm actually just going to be pulling specifically for everyone that shows up. So if you do show up to that, after I go through the astrology and break that down and show you in the astro gold and like all that other stuff, I'm literally going to be pulling cards for everyone there. If you showed up, and I'm going to be sending y'all the recording. So if you missed it by any chance, or you want to go back and check your reading, you can look at it at any time, screen record it, do what you want, live your best life. I just want to make it easy and compatible so everyone can like really just like reap the benefits of it all. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, new announcements are coming up on the new moon as well. It is just stay tuned, y'all. It's going to be fun. Yeah, it's just a beautiful time. So much love for y'all for being here, for you listening to me ramble for damn near an hour. Like literally, like the count hasn't really gone down. So that's like, wow. Shouts out to y'all. It's going to be posted again if you want to listen through to it. I'll be putting it on YouTube too. I like YouTube because I like to put stuff somewhere and walk away from it and just have it like just play out and listen to it. So if you want to listen to me ramble, this will also be on YouTube as well. But yeah, much love once more. I'll be seeing y'all every day. Every day. Catch me on the internet. Catch me on the internet. How about that? But yeah, I'm gonna shut up. Okay, much love. Happy Mercury and Libra. I'm sweaty. It's hot in here. I had to turn the fan off. It's crazy. But peace out, y'all. Till next time. Much love.